I'd like to welcome you to Town of Gilbert Planning Commission for August 3rd, 2016. Can I get a roll call?
Chairman Joshua Ayler.
Here.
Vice Chairman Christopher Sipple.
Present.
Commissioner David Blazer. Commissioner Carl Bloomfield.
Here.
Commissioner David Cavaney.
Here.
Commissioner Brett Moody.
Here.
Commissioner Jennifer Whitman. Here. Commissioner Brett Young.
Here.
Thank you. Can I get an approval of tonight's agenda?
Your Honor,
Vice Chair Sipple.
I move to approve the agenda as presented.
Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a motion from Vice Chair Sipple, a second from Commissioner Cavaney. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Passes 7-0. Brings us to communications from citizens. At this time, members of the public may comment upon a matter not on the agenda. The Commission's response is limited to responding to criticisms and asking staff to review a matter commented upon, or asking that a matter be put on a future agenda. Is there anybody in the public like to speak under this matter? Seeing none, we'll move forward and move to the consent agenda. The consent public hearing items will be heard at one public hearing. After the consent public hearing, these items may be approved by a single motion. At the request of a member of the commission or staff, an item may be removed from the consent calendar and may be heard and acted upon separately. Other items on the agenda may be added to the consent public hearing and approved under a single motion. Tonight's consent hearing is UP 16-08, Clarkson's second dwelling. Do I have a motion on the consent agenda?
Your Honor,
Vice Chair Sipple.
I move to approve the consent agenda as presented.
Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a motion from Vice Chair Sipple, a second from Commissioner Bloomfield. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Passes 7-0. Brings us to the non-consent hearing. Non-consent public hearing items will be heard at an individual public hearing and will be acted upon by the commission by a separate motion. During the public hearings, anyone wishing to comment in support or in opposition to the public hearing item may do so. If you wish to comment on the public hearing item, you must fill out a public comment form indicating the item number on which you wish to be heard. Once a hearing is closed, there will be no further public comment unless requested by a member of the commission. So tonight's non-consent is actually is being asked by staff to be continued to September 7th, which is S16-07 Bella Verde. Do I have? We have no action on a continuance. Oh, a motion to continue. Okay, so I have a motion for continuance.
So approved.
No.
So moved.
I need a motion.
Oh, I move to continue item S16-07.
Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a motion from Vice Chair Sipple, a second from Commissioner Whitman. I wanted to say Williams. I have no idea. Whitman. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Passes 7-0. Item brings us to administrative items, so quickly. On item number 10, minutes, consider approval of the minutes of the study session and regular meeting of meetings June 1st and July 6th. Do I have a motion? And it has to be by someone who that attended both.
Your Honor,
Yes, Vice Chair Sipple.
I move to approve the minutes as presented.
Do I have a second? Do we under one motion, or okay? So I have a motion from Vice Chair Sipple, a second from Commissioner Whitman. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? And so passes 6-0. One abstention from Commissioner Bloomfield. Brings us to communications, reports from chairman and members of the Commission of Current Events. Do we have any items to bring to the public?
Your Honor,
Vice Chair Sippel?
school started last week and this week. I think Councilwoman Peterson, eyes up. What was the comment? Speed down, eyes up. Yep, there it
Speed
is.
down, eyes up, drive safely.
Yep, school starts.
Great. Okay, brings us to report from Council Liaison, Ms. Peterson. Councilman.
Hello, Commission. Thank you for being here, allowing me for a couple minutes to speak to you. So Vice Chair Sippel just mentioned that school started last week and this week. Gilbert Public Schools went back this morning. I was able to do a little 3-hour bus tour to visit a junior high school and a couple of elementary schools this morning with other business leaders and community leaders, which was a lot of fun. I like doing it because we get to visit 3 different schools each year, so it's nice to just come out and see the kids. And I give them a lot of credit for having a tour on the first day of school because I know how busy they are. So I appreciate that they take that time to greet us like they did. You might have all seen that we have a new mayor in town. We have an interim mayor until our election is finalized and the mayor is sworn in again in January. Mayor Lewis resigned from his post on July 19th, and we immediately chose and swore in Councilmember Jen Daniels. So she is our interim mayor for the rest of the year until January. She has taken over the post, which has allowed us to do, or offered the opportunity for us to do some switches around in our assignments, because the mayor, I don't know if everybody knows, but we don't just come here on Thursday nights and votes. We actually vote. We actually have assignments that we all have to do, like my assignment here to the Planning Commission. We have regional assignments and other assignments that we have to attend, and some have to be attended by the mayor. So we've done a little juggling. I was lucky enough to keep the Planning Commission on my schedule, at least for the remainder of this year. We'll see what happens in January, should we have 1 or 2 new council members. We'll definitely have 1, but we could potentially have 2. Which brings us to Election Day. So early voting started today here at the Municipal Center. You can vote here from 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. until Thursday, August 25th. The Election Day is Tuesday, August 30th. Your early ballots, if you get them, will be in the mail this week, possibly even today in your mailbox. And please fill those out and send them back. If you forget to mail them, return them to the polling places on Election Day. You can go to any polling place. You don't have to go to the one that you're designated to. Please remember to get out and vote, and ask your friends and neighbors to do that. Also, your local elections are your most important elections this year, especially here in our district. The other thing that we're doing in the process of, because Jen Daniels stepped up as mayor, we have to replace her position on the council for 5 months. So we asked for people to apply until close of business yesterday. We received 29 applications from people. 1 person withdrew earlier today, so we're down to 28 people that have applied. We tried to keep it simple, an application, 1-page resume, and a 250-word essay basically on why they'd like to serve on the council for the next 5 months. The council members now have until Monday to return a matrix back to our staff, and on Tuesday night we'll have a special meeting where we will review the results of the matrix that we filled out. That's the 11th. Do I have my dates right? And then we will, no, that's the 9th, and then on the 11th, we will meet to decide to do public interviews of 3 people, and then we will choose that evening who the replacement council member is, and we will announce it at that time, and that person will be sworn in on August 18th and sit at our August 18th meeting. So the reason that we're telling them that they've been appointed on the 11th is to give them time to be brought on board. They'll have about a week's time to be brought on board and taught what they need to know, everything you need to know in 7 days about being a council member, and give their family opportunity to come on the 18th to watch their swearing in as they come to be seated on the dais for the first time. So just a little information for you if you'd like to watch. We're always on TV or available online. So thank you. Oh,
Great.
I forgot one thing. The Planning Commission Design Review Board.
Yeah.
I had a lot of things to talk about tonight. You have a short meeting, and I have a lot to talk about. The town council voted to do the combining of the Planning Commission and the Design Review Board. So it was, Linda reached out to the town clerk's office today, and the town clerk's office will be reaching out to all of the members of the Planning Commission and the Design Review Board to let them know that you are the only people that will be applying for these positions. We're not opening up to the public. It's only to the Planning Commission and Design Review, and we'll go through the same process that we normally do. We have gone back to doing public interviews, so it's very possible that we'll want to bring people in for public interviews. We haven't gotten to that step in the process yet. Since we know all of you, it may not be needed, that we can sit and talk about it. So, but that was another reason that I wanted to stay your liaison too, was so that I can help you and work through this process as we move forward. So, thank you.
Thank you, and we appreciate it. So, brings us to item number 13, report from Planning Service Manager, Linda Edwards.
Chairman and Commission, I just always love to take the opportunity to thank you. And it's always good to hear from you and your perspectives. And we very much appreciate your experience and what you add to Gilbert. Thank you.
Thank you. So that brings us to the end of the meeting. So, meeting adjourned. So moved.